All right, Pickle. Starting tonight.
Gosh darn it. We hang out too much.
Literally in like 6 hours, the 2024 Texas High School Football Playoffs will kick off across the Lone Star State. Very excited about it. 704 UIL Texas High School football teams will compete in 352 win or go home games scattered across the state. And what's great about this, a lot of what we do throughout the course of the year on this show
is the app.
Yes. But also a lot of what we do is like set the stakes, and we say this game is important for this reason. And this game is important for that reason. And this is why you should watch this game. Here's the great news about this time of year. Y'all already know. Okay?
They're all important.
If you win, you get to play next week. And if you don't, you go home. That's it. That's the beauty of it. And so that brings up a very special by-district playoff edition of my top 10 Texas high school football games of the week. Let's go to the big board. We'll start with number 10, Midlothian and Lake Belton. This is a really interesting ball game down there in 5A Division 2. This game, or 5A Division 1 rather. 5A Division 1. Going down at Midlothian ISD Stadium tomorrow night. It is 8-2 versus 7-3. You don't always get that in the first round of the playoffs. And furthermore, what I love about this game is that this is going to be what feels like a real referendum, finally, on like, certainly Lake Belton can't keep getting away with it, right? Like, this is a team that has won a ton of really, really close games. But actually, what's interesting, both of these teams have lived on the edge, okay? Midlothian has a 3-point win over Campbell. They have a 4-point win over Burleson Centennial. They have a 4-point win over Red Oak. Lake Belton has lived on the edge perhaps more than anybody.
Yeah.
They're a team that they're 7-3, and they have outscored so get this. They're 7-3. They have outscored their opponents this year by 22 points combined.
That's crazy.
22 points. Hold on. I came unplugged. Let me get this.
You're listening to live coverage of Tepper having to plug back in his IFB so he can hear me.
Thanks. I don't want to yap over you. They've played 3 overtime games. They've played close games. So here's the thing. It would be stunning to me if this was not a close game. What I'm really interested in seeing is whether or not this Lake Belton defense, which has been gettable, is going to be susceptible to what's been a high-powered Midlothian attack. I'm keeping an eye on that one. Huge game in Midlothian tomorrow night, live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Midlothian and Lake Belton. Number 9, Chapel Hill and Huffman Hargrave. If only I could watch this game.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
This is a fascinating ball game because Chapel Hill is a team that we had super high hopes for. I want to say they started the year in the top 5 in 4A Division 1. Of course, they played in the state championship last year. And I would say that the best way to describe their year has been uneven and maybe even snake bit because they have struggled severely with injuries. Okay, quarterback Demetrius Brisbane has been in and out. Running back Ricky Stewart has been in and out. This is supposed to be the year for Chapel Hill, but how healthy are they? As a result of all this, because of all of this hullabaloo, they ended up finishing 3rd in their district, and now they have to go on the road to play a 9-1 Huffman Hargrave team in the first round. Now, let me tell you something about Huffman Hargrave.
It's not a light task.
I think Hargrave's really good.
I do too.
This is a good ball club, and they can flat out score, okay? They have run the ball exceptionally well behind Sawyer Jameson is kind of the tip of the spear, but they got another running back by the name of Drayden Bacon. Exceptional name there.
We're all about food last names.
If Chapel Hill is not ready for a track meet, or if their defense is not up to the task of slowing down Huffman Hargrave, we could be looking at a team that started the year highly ranked, bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Huge game in Huffman tomorrow night. Number 8, Kingwood and Clear Springs. If only I could watch this game somewhere.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
It's amazing how that keeps happening. Kingwood and Clear Springs. This is a 6A Division 2 ball game. Kingwood is the team that's not Atascocita, Summer Creek, or North Shore out of District 23 6A.
Which is just wild.
That made the playoffs. I'll tell you this. The Dave Campbell's computer has them ranked 41st in all of 6A. I want you to think about that. Clear fourth place in their district, the 41st best team in the state.
Insane.
Okay? And now they take on Clear Springs in the first round in what should be an absolute banger. I will tell you, I really like both of these offenses. Clear Springs is a team that I've had my eye on for a couple of weeks now. The way that they are able to operate offensively, I think you've seen a lot of growth from their quarterback, Julian Salazar, and then they can run the ball really well with Adam Hawkins and Corey Hosea. My question is going to be, how much does Kingwood's battle-tested nature play into this game? Okay, this is a team that has played LaPorte. That's a 5A team, but it's a 7-3 5A team. Okay, they played Houston Stratford. That's a playoff team. Played North Shore, Atascocita, and Summer Creek. And remember, they took Atascocita to the wire. They were throwing for a 2-point conversion to beat Atascocita earlier this year. This is a good Kingwood ball club. They got a big first-round test against Clear Springs. Number 7, Texas High and Nederland. If only I could watch this game somewhere.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Boy, what a month it's been for Nederland.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nederland
Snip, snap.
comes back. We come into the studio talking about what a marvelous win they had over Port Neches Groves, their big rival. They come out and they beat P&G on the road at the reservation. They snap their long winning streak and take command of that district. And 3 weeks later, because they lose to Huntsville and Montgomery, they are on the road at Texarkana. At Texas High, an undefeated number 2 team in the state.
The road trip stings. The matchup stinks because they're so good. That is just falling.
It's very, very tough. So that is a huge result there. Can Nederland find their groove, especially defensively, up against Tredarian Ball and this high-powered Texas High attack? Keep an eye on that one, Texas High and Nederland. Number 8.
6. Math.
Allen versus Louisville. And again, I wish we could watch this game somewhere.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
It's a 6A Division I matchup. And Allen, I think we've talked about it here. Allen is capital B back. Mm-hmm. They're a team that you need to be paying attention to. They are rolling defensively. I think Brady Bricker, their quarterback, has taken a real step, and they're able to run the ball pretty effectively. I mean, they're averaging nearly 50 points a game. Their offense has been terrific. But this is a tricky first-round matchup with Louisville. Louisville is a high-ceiling team. The playmakers they've got offensively, whether it's their sophomore quarterback, Trey Williams, whether it's their running back, Tennell Hill, they have got dudes. And when they play to their paper, they are capable of beating anybody. Furthermore, I think they match up in the trenches pretty well with Allen because they're huge up front, led by Michael Fasusi. Keep an eye on this one in 6A Division I. Allen's your favorite, but and especially at Eagle Stadium, but I've got this one kind of circled as upset watch. Number 5. Angleton and Pflugerville Weiss. We're going to talk about this in the picks video, so I don't want to belabor the point. But this is a really fascinating ball game of Houston versus Austin. Can the freshman quarterback, Jackson Shad, handle the pressure on the road against Angleton? Huge game there in 5A Division I. Pflugerville Weiss and Angleton. I'm fascinated by this ball game. Number 4. Lake Travis and Round Rock. And boy, if only there was a place to watch this.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Austin area takes center stage here. And for Round Rock, it's an opportunity to prove that they belong in that big conversation of top-tier Austin area programs. We know what they've got, especially on the offensive side. We know that they can put up points. I think that their quarterback, Jack Apple, has grown up in a big way, and they can run the ball with Joaquin Maldonado. But are they ready for what's been an excellent Lake Travis defense? And can they contain Chaston, Ditta, and Van Hopping? That's the big question in this one. I'm fascinated by this one in the 6A Division I Region 4 bracket. Fascinated to see how it works out. Number 3, Coppell and Prosper. I think this game's on FanDuel Sports Southwest this week. I'm fascinated by this one. This is what happens when you have the post, when you have the split division, or you don't have a split divisions in 6A, is that you got a second place Prosper team going up on the road against an undefeated Coppell team. I'm fascinated by if Coppell can match up front on the defensive side. I'm fascinated to see, can Prosper hold down the high-flying offense led by Edward Griffin at Coppell? Huge ball game there in 6A Division 1 that will really shape, I think, one of the chief challengers to North Crowley in Region 1 of 6A D1. Number 2, Atascocita and Dickinson. If only I could watch this game somewhere.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
This is a really interesting ball game here because for Atascocita, remember, they have one loss on the year. It was a heartbreaker to North Shore, and as a result, they're on the road at Dickinson. Remember, Dickinson, led by Malachi, they have a running back named Malachi. That's what Malachi, Gamble. They gave Katy all they want in the playoffs, or in the season opener, and that was at Vitanza Stadium. That's a tough place to play there in Galveston County. Atascocita better be strapped up right away, or else we could have a huge upset on there. Like, Atascocita is your favorite, I want to be clear, but this is a massive game. It's not the biggest game in the state, though. Number 1, Gordon and May. Did you think I was going to go with a 6-man game here?
No, but I mean, if you want to talk about sheer competition, this is probably the best one in the state.
It is a fascinating, absolutely blockbuster first-round matchup between Gordon and May. This is a top 10 matchup in the first round of the playoffs.
Unfair.
May is here because they were undefeated going into last week's game and lose to Jonesboro. And so as a result, they play Gordon, the undisputed number 1 team in 1A Division 1 in the first round of the playoffs.
Not fun.
Braden Steele, Ben Harrell, this is a good May team. And for Gordon, I think they're like, golly, the road to repeat is huge. But that said, Gordon's defense has been so good. They've given up fewer than 40 points all year. Their defense has been unbelievable. Rye Reed, Striker Reed. This is a massive game in 6-man football, and it'll really help shape the entire 1A Division 1 bracket right out of the chute.
And everybody else is excited that one of these teams is getting knocked out.
Yeah, absolutely. So there it is. My top 10 Texas high school football games of the week. Make sure you go to texasfootball.com/playoffs for all things football playoffs across the Lone Star State.